What's the greatest challenge you'll face in the voiceover industry? Are you pointing at me? That's not helpful. Tell them what it really is. Say it. Use your words.
It's your mind. It's your mind. This video is for any voiceover talent, actor, or creator,
beginner or otherwise,
who's been working at their craft but find their excitement or passion waning.
At all levels. Today, we'll talk about issues we faced, resiliency,
and affirmations. Do they even work?
And then tie it together with what it takes to move forward when you feel the passion fade or if life keeps hitting you. Hey, I'm Heidi.
And I'm Mike, owners of the Atlanta Voiceover Studio on ProVoiceoverTraining.com, where our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey.
When it comes to owning your own small business, because really, that's what we continually try to hammer home, that as a voiceover talent, you're an entrepreneur and a small biz owner.
When it comes to owning your small business, the greatest challenge in the voiceover industry actually isn't setting up your home studio or even booking a job.
The greatest challenge takes place in your mind. It might be on a regular basis or it might be every now and then.
But every voiceover talent or performer really has to battle it at some point.
Let me share a moment when that happened to me, and what a week that was.
It was almost like an exercise workout in mental resiliency that she didn't even know she was going to have to battle. And that's typically how it happens. We never know. So go ahead, break it down for us.
Okay, well, it started out great. I was on hold for 3 jobs. One was a singing job, and I was super excited about that. Another was for an agency that I'd worked with before, and the third was for a big name brand. On top of that, I was asked to join a management team, and I felt really unsure if it was a good fit. I just started doubting myself.
Okay, so first off, what happened with the on-hold gigs?
Well, all 3 fell through within 3 days. What? It felt like one hit after another, one disappointment after another.
And that is a tough week. These things happen all the time, or they can happen, and we've all encountered our fair share.
But when possible gigs, the ones that we feel like we have a high likelihood of booking,
we think,
what are the odds that all of them are gonna fall through?
Yeah, when they do fall through and all at once, it can really wreak some havoc on your mental fortitude and your self-esteem.
It's tough. Makes you question things, like for Heidi.
It made me question my talent and abilities, and then fear can creep in and take it to another level.
Fear not, though, as this is simply a part of the voiceover journey. It's gonna happen. Some talent endure weeks or even months. Other talent do not. It might be for a shorter period.
And you're not immune either, are you?
Nope. Mine usually come in the form of not booking for a stretch of time. The times when I feel like I'm doing fantastic auditions, that they're fitting the specs and I'm keeping up with the trends, but then crickets.
Yeah, that happened actually last year, right?
Yep, and it was a good solid month or 2. And then later on, I'll share what I did to get through it.
We tell you this to reassure you that unless you're a celebrity with work coming at you regularly, that it happens to all of us. And while we all strive to develop a voiceover career where this doesn't happen, until we get to that place, how do you deal with it?
What is a voiceover talent, actor, or creative person to do?
Here are some pieces of hope for you. The more mental challenges you go through, and specifically the more you go through and work through them, the more you're able to handle them and battle them when they happen again.
There are always ways to get through, and we're not talking about coping mechanisms here. Heidi and I have methods we use to deal with the mental challenges.
These might or may not have come from the help of a counselor. The first one is to feel. Sit in it.
As in, take some moments to sit in the emotions of it all and honor what you're going through and feeling.
If it feels painful or hurtful, I allow myself to just experience that emotion. I used to be really uncomfortable with staying in that place, but it's actually beneficial to sit in it because you can realize that it won't crush you.
Yeah, whenever we get into a position of pain or we feel pressure, almost like we have something literally pressing down on us, the obvious thing to do is to try and squirm out from underneath it.
And there's a place for that. It's natural, but there may be something for us to learn when we're in or under that pressure.
What might that be? That we can actually take the pressure and strengthen our resiliency.
Number 2 is to share. In all honesty, this is usually when I talk to this guy, but I can't exactly share Mike with you.
Well, you could, but I really wouldn't have a lot of time and I'm very expensive.
Yeah, so I'd recommend journaling or sharing with someone else what you're feeling.
Could be a close friend or family member, someone who's supportive and can be a good listener. We are huge proponents of counseling as well.
There are plenty of studies out there that you can track down that cover the benefits of sharing your feelings with others and with someone who can just simply listen.
And there are just as many studies touting the benefits of journaling, and I've actually gotten back into that. If you've ever gone through The Artist's Way book by Julia Cameron, you'll know what we're talking about.
It's been around for a few decades, and we became aware of it because of some of our acting friends.
The psychology behind it is actually fascinating. It's almost as if writing and letting it all out on a piece of paper literally decreases the power those feelings and emotions have over you.
It's not that all your problems are solved, but rather it gives you a moment to breathe and take it in and let it move through you.
It's like the emotions gotta ride a wave, man. It could sound a little woo-woo, but all it is energy. It's gotta go somewhere. Navy SEALs are masters at taking fear and making it work for them. It's in their job to actually run into harm's way regularly, and they're always facing V.U.C.A environments.
What's V.U.C.A environment? Mark Devine, a retired Navy SEAL commander and now entrepreneur, has a great podcast where he talks about resilience, courage, and compassion.
He defines V.U.C.A as volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. V.U.C.A environment.
He says that when V.U.C.A strikes, most people become paralyzed by fear and are overwhelmed. No human being is born with the ability to handle intense stress and chaos for extended periods of time, and there's only one way to develop this ability. You must relentlessly train for it.
If you want to find out more about how to do that on the reg, check out unbeatableminded.com. But we mention this quote because as talent, 99.999% of us aren't running headlong into fights on a physical battlefield where we have the actual possibility of losing our lives.
But often what we face can feel like we're in a battle, and the effect it can have on us is real and painful, and the fear is the same, no matter where it takes place.
Yeah, so the more you can identify what you're feeling, address it, and talk yourself through it, or counsel with someone else about it, the less power it has over you. And that's number 3.
Evaluate. Identify your feelings or fears. Once you've expressed your feelings, step back and identify them. Are you going down a path of self-doubt, feeling fear creep in over finances, wonder if you're a failure?
Once you identify this, you have a starting point. In response to those feelings and fears, ask yourself, what is true?
For example, with what happened to me earlier, if I start thinking I got let go from 3 jobs, which makes me think I'm not good enough. Once I identify that, I look at the facts that don't support that statement or reasoning. I remember the complimentary things the client said just the week before, encouraging things that my coach has said, or simply look at my track record of booking and being a full-time voiceover talent for years. Taking all of that into consideration really does help.
We'll touch on affirmations a little later and whether they work or not, but for right now, let's move on to number 4.
Recalibrate and activate. Whatever truth you've discovered, use it to propel you forward. I used my mind challenges that week to really dig in deep to auditions, and guess what? I booked a job in less than a week.
What action can you take to improve what you have to offer? Maybe it's as simple as spending some time marketing and reaching out to clients, updating your website, creating a new and simpler email signature,
or even taking some uninterrupted time to listen to commercials or watch animation, not for pleasure, but to truly listen to the performances and the subtle nuances.
In addition to these steps, we're big believers in exercise and using it as a way to recalibrate yourself. There are studies aplenty out there about how good exercise is great for your overall health.
And also utilizing meditation, prayer, going to church, listening to uplifting music, they're all great ways to shift your mind back into that right space.
Owning a voiceover studio, we've talked to countless talent who try to compare themselves to where we are or where some of the other instructors are in their careers.
Comparison is never a good helper in that way. Think of it like a book. Mike and I may be in chapter 17 and someone else—
I'm in chapter 17 and a half.
I know you are. And someone else may be just starting on chapter 1.
You get the analogy, but it doesn't mean that we still don't have our own challenges. And no matter what chapter of your career you're in, you can still work and you can still book. The only difference may be what opportunities are available to you at this point.
And if you don't have those opportunities yet, then you have your goals set out for you.
There are things that you can control.
We go into that in other videos, but what we're not talking about here are affirmations. That is just repeating to yourself, I'm a good voice talent, I'm a good voice talent.
Brings back memories of SNL's Stuart Smalley. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
There's a coach, mentor, author, and speaker to elite pro athletes, leaders, and public figures that we listen to. His name is Todd Herman. And when people ask him if affirmations work, he says,
no. And it's not just an opinion. What does the science reveal? Here's the study so you can look it up for yourself in the Journal of Psychological Science.
But to boil it down, the researchers asked people to recite the following affirmation: I am a lovable person.
2 groups were established, a low self-esteem group and a high self-esteem group. After the affirmation, everyone's moods were measured regarding their feelings about themselves.
They found across the board the group with low esteem felt worse after being made to recite the positive affirmation.
And the high self-esteem group, they felt better. Todd says that this is an important distinction because a wave of self-help content producers are doing more harm than good.
But Todd doesn't leave us hanging. In one of his newsletters, which you can sign up for on his site, he says, we need to become really good at speaking the truth.
So, here are some ways to get us started on a better path to transformation. Number 1, ask questions. Your favorite.
Yep. Todd says, and I'll craft this for us in VoiceOver here. He says, instead of saying and repeating an affirmation like, I am a great voiceover talent, ask,
why am I becoming a better voiceover talent?
Why do this? Well, he says that the brain loves questions. They're the pickaxe to the mind and help you mine for answers, solutions, and creative responses.
Next up on Todd's list to help you transform, allow negative thoughts, which is consistent with what our counselors have told us.
He says that the idea that all your thinking should be positive is a trap. Ironic, right? He goes on to say you only judge yourself more.
Even the University of Waterloo study showed that low self-esteem people were in a better mood after allowing negative thoughts.
Finally, Todd concludes with making a point to catalog your wins. He says, grab a sheet of paper and break down your life into 3-year increments. Then create a list of all the things that you learned, skills you developed, wins, and things that you overcame. Return to it every 3 months and keep adding to it.
We're human, and so we forget. So creating this list that you can easily access will do so much more than trying to pick up, as he says, the affirmation club and trying to beat yourself with it.
I really love Todd because he's a data-driven guy, which I'm all about. He follows this up with, science, research, and practicality show that there are better ways to master the chatter in your head and change your life.
What we want to hammer home here is that you don't need to try and psych yourself up or convince yourself that you're good and can do this. There is a better way.
And that's to keep in mind that by asking yourself those questions that will cause your mind to solve a problem will work to your benefit.
If you're just starting out, you can write down that you've taken an Intro to VoiceOver workshop. Good. That's one thing on your way, and add to that.
If you're further along and you've had more classes and workshops under your belt, write it down. Maybe you've booked a few gigs. That's great. Did you meet someone who might need a VO for their business? Write it down. Keep that list going.
When you put it to paper, you can also see anything that you may be missing.
You may realize that you feel confident about your commercial voiceover training, but you haven't gotten that updated demo that you need to reach out to agents.
Well, now you have an actionable goal. The longer I live, the more I realize there seems to always be an answer to anything that we're facing.
So how are you feeling about your VO career? We think you can do it. You just have to decide how bad you want it.
I would like it real bad. I would like it a lot.
We love VoiceOver. We have a passion for it. And if you're like us, you do too.
Just remember that passion requires something. Each week we open our email box to the Monday morning memo from Roy H. Williams, the Wizard of Ads. And he often has really great tidbits to help start out the week.
I thought this was really good. Here's a piece from a longer story about passion and commitment, and you can read about it here.
But here it is, boiled down.
Commitment is the only true form of passion. Passion is not a feeling of fluffy-headed excitement. Passion is suffering. Comes from the Latin word pati, the root word of patience.
We think of patience as an ability to wait, but patience, more accurately, is an ability to suffer.
Passion does not produce commitment. Commitment produces passion.
Passion is a fire easily lit. Just make a commitment and don't look back or left or right, only forward. Make a commitment.
Commitment is the only true form of passion. Make a commitment, passion will follow.
It's definitely a challenge, no doubt, but you are able to overcome. And remember, there's a community of voiceover talent out here that cares.
And you can always reach us here at atlantavoiceoverstudio.com or provoiceovertraining.com.
If you sign up for our newsletter, and you can do that at the bottom of our website, atlantavoiceoverstudio.com, it comes out each Monday and always includes useful tips to help your career.
We have podcasts on Apple or wherever you like to go to listen, as well as other videos up here that are free resources to help you learn and grow.
We'll see you next time.